We get a lot of emails about jam disposers. It's actually a pretty common complaint, but it's a big deal in this house because one of the homeowners actually runs a catering business out of this house. Hey guys.
Hi, Richard.
So how long have you had a jam disposer?
About a year.
About a year.
At least a year.
I came just in time, didn't I? Well, the good news is that clearing a jam disposer is generally not that big a deal. It's pretty common. And if we can't do it today, I actually brought a new one with me.
Great.
So let's first start with how they work. Here is the part that you see. This is the part that mounts to the sink. It's called the flange. And now underneath it, the disposer is connected to the flange by this locking ring. I'm going to pull that off and disconnect it. This is called the splash guard. This is the thing that keeps the water from coming up when the disposer's on. I'm going to just pull that off. And now it lets us see down inside it. I brought a cutaway. All right, so here is where the water and the food go from the sink. This is actually where the dishwasher discharges into the disposer.
When we run our dishwasher, it often backs up into the sink.
Right, well it would. Imagine if this was clogged up right here. This cutter wheel was all clogged, the water would want to back up and just try to seep through there. So now, right here is the way that it works. This is the cutter wheel right here, and this thing spins. You can see the big cutter head right here. And what it does, it breaks up the food with these big heads, but it also drives it against these small teeth. You see them right there on the side? So now as this thing turns away, it will puree the food. So the food will now drop down to this lower level, and it'll be pushed out through this discharge pipe right here. So this spins around like crazy. It spins because there's a motor right here. So when you turn that switch on, the motor spins this around. And what we often find is that either there's too much food or maybe a foreign matter, like a fork or a turkey pin or something like that, might get down in here and bind into these teeth. And when that does, the motor can't turn anymore. You'll hear it start to hum and start to hum. And to protect it from overheating, most disposers have a little switch down here. It's a lot like a circuit breaker that'll trip. So you can see there's a little button at the bottom right here, and if the thing overloaded, it would pop. Okay? So if it has overloaded, there's a reason for it. We have to find what the reason is, and so we start by trying to clear that wheel. Most manufacturers provide an Allen wrench like this. And you can see this shaft. See it going all the way to the bottom? Right at the very bottom, there's an Allen opening right here that takes this Allen wrench. So now you put this in, and now you'll notice that I can turn this manually back and forth, and if there was something up in here, you might clear it.
Now, if there was a fork jammed in, how would you get that out?
Well, you try to clear it with this, but if you couldn't, and you could actually look down and see the fork there, you'd pull it out, or take a needle nose pliers and get it out. Okay? Sometimes you have to step it up to a higher level of torque. Many times you'll take a couple of broomsticks, and you put these opposing one another, and you'll turn that wheel this way. And this is a wrench that I would use as a pro because you can fit it down in through the splash guard. It comes down, it seats right down on the deck, and now you've got plenty of torque to spin that thing.
Now, could anyone find a wrench like that?
You can. They're not always easy to find, but you know what? You're a caterer. Maybe I'll leave this for you because you'll have plenty of stoppages. All right, so let's get started and see what your problem is on your disposer. First, we have to get power to this motor. You wouldn't believe the number of times you come to a house and the circuit breaker is off in the basement.
Check and double check the circuit breaker.
Okay. So let's start with flipping the switch for the disposer. Nothing. Okay. So the next thing I would check is that thermal overload switch at the bottom of the disposer. Give it a push.
There it is.
Okay, good. Let's try that switch again. Oh, hear that buzz? Turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Okay, so that means we're getting power to the motor, but we're still not spinning that grinding wheel, so we got to see if we can free it up. So that means we're going to use the Allen wrench.
Okay. Now is that just down the bottom?
Yeah, you'll feel right in the center. Okay, and you might want to hold back against the disposer too, because you don't want to spin it right off the bottom of the sink.
Yeah, that thing just won't budge.
All right, so I might need to use a different wrench. I can get a lot more torque out of this thing. It gets right down onto those teeth. All right, so when I do it, I want you to get down there and hold back against me. I'm going to go counterclockwise, all right?
Okay.
I don't want that disposer to spin out of the lock ring. Nope. Let's go the other way now. Hold back. I'm going to go clockwise.
Okay.
All right, go back counterclockwise. Come on. Oh, I got it.
Did you get it?
I did. I think I got it.
Here, turning down here.
All right. So let me just pull that out and give it the test. Huh?
Sounds great.
Fantastic.
Dad?
It's been about a year since we've heard that.
I heard it was 2 years.
No, only a year.
Well, I will give you this.
Thank
you might
you
need
so
it with your
much.
catering business. Enjoy.
I'm sure
Thank you
it'll
very
come in
much.
handy.
All right. Thank you.